Right, we are in New York. Just got here, I don't know, like an hour and a half ago or something. At the train station that we're at, they had a Magnolia Bakery outlet. So we thought we should get something here so we can kind of kill two birds with one stone and just eat it a bit later on. So Mum got this lime cheesecake. Oh, be careful it doesn't just flop on the table. And I got the red velvet cake to try. Now, I got this for one reason actually, really, is because I think that my red velvet cake is the best red velvet cake I've ever had. So I need to know if this one is better because everybody says it's really great. But I am about here. My sugar tolerance at the moment, I'm over it. So I probably will not really have much of this. Mum will probably have some of it tomorrow, I guess. Anyway, let's give it a try. There it is. That's a too big bite. Come on. The cake is really good. It's fluffy and it's nice. The icing is, I don't know, I was expecting cream cheese, but it's not. It's just like normal frosting. And I prefer it with the cream cheese icing because I think it needs a bit of tartness. Anyway, it's good. I mean, I think when you are around a Magnolia Bakery, you've got to try it, right? Anyway, now I've tried it. Also, you might have noticed I was using actual cutlery, and that's because I bought my Captain Planet cutlery set. So that's what I've been trying to use as much as I can, rather than single-use stuff. But you got to be careful because there's lots of places where you can't obviously take in metal utensils. So we are in New York, which is very exciting. Mum is very pleased that we're here, and I am getting more pleased as time goes along. Yeah, so on the train here, I did have some anxiety before we even got on the train, and then once we got on the train, but I fixed that by listening to Friend Like You from Bliss and Essay about 15 times. So anyway, that's my travel tip for everyone. So when we checked into the hotel, the lady asked us, she was like, oh, do you want to be on like level 16 or 17 or 24? And I just went, I would like to be on level 3, but she would probably like to be on 24. So anyway, we got level 24, and when we got into our room and opened up the window, there was the Chrysler building right out the side. So there you go, hey? Good karma. The reason that that's important is because that's my favourite building. I think it's beautiful. And we can see the top of it. And then when we go up to the go to the loft upstairs, you can see it from there as well. So you can eat. It's a nice communal area. You can, like a lot of people seem to eat or work up there. And then, yeah, you can look out at the Chrysler building as well as all the other ones. But why would you look at the other ones when you can look at the Chrysler one? Anyway, so we checked in, did some washing, which we absolutely needed to do. We haven't done any washing since DC, and it was running out of clothes for sure. Doing some washing. It's the True Earth tabs, which we got in, which we got recommended by Downey Live, our favourite YouTube travel guy, Mike Downey. Anyway, now we're washing. And then just got some dinner and had a pretty easy night actually. And then yesterday, which was Sunday, we got up a bit late and then went for a walk down to Central Park. And it was, now, if you were paying attention in one of the earlier ones where Mum was saying she gets very worried about being the one that provides directions, we get out and she's like, I figured it out. We just go here, we walk down to 5th, and then we just follow 5th Avenue down. I was like, excellent. Anyway, we get out, we turn right, and then we're walking up the thing. We go past 3rd Avenue, and I say to Mum, I thought we were going to 5th. And she's like, we are. I'm like, okay, but that one's 2nd, and we just went past 3rd. So we're going in the wrong direction. Anyway, so we turned around and went back and went to Central Park. But it was funny because when we got to one of the traffic lights, I was like, we need to turn right here. And she's like, this way, like with her hand, like, is this the right that you mean? And I was like, excuse me, who didn't know which way we were going? She's like, no, I was asking for myself. But anyway, we found Central Park. Mum thinks we're taking a photo, but I'm filming. Anyway, we got a hot dog because we're in New York doing New York things. There's some New York. We're actually about, I don't know, 50 meters from Central Park, so that's where we're going to go now. She's running away from me. Anyway, bye. And we ate a hot dog. I put in some Central Park footage here. Nanny doing nanny things, just riding on the carousel. Hi, Nanny. Look at her. Every time I see one of these, I think it's going to be a murder scene in a movie. But anyway, that's cheery. And my highlight was the John Wick fountain. Didn't see Keanu Reeves, of course. It's not like he lives there, but anyway, John Wick fountain. Oh, what a nice fountain and what a nice walkway. Oh, what nice music. Isn't that nice? Me. Is this where they do John Wick? Anyway, I think it is. In there. And then we walked back. It was very cold. And we needed to find a toilet because we were there for a little while, right? First of all, you walk there, you hang out there, you get lost there, then you find your way again, then you get lost again, and then you find your way again. I think that might not be everyone's experience, but that was definitely our experience. The toilets are closed for winter because I guess it's not peak season, but there was still heaps of people there. Like, people like me also need to go to the toilet. Anyway, so we had to find somewhere to stop on the way back, and we also got a bit hungry, so got some chicken soup, which was very nice. Here we are at soup again, and more crackers. This is chicken noodle in New York, and I'm just going to put the crackers in again because they're already all broken, so I assume that's where they go. And then got back to the room, watched the second half of the Eagles game, and they won. Then we were watching the Chiefs game, thinking, are we going to get a Kelsey bowl? We are. We're getting a Kelsey bowl. So that was last night, and now today I think we're going to do a hop-on, hop-off bus. So probably get a couple of day pass of that. I know that some people be thinking, hop-on, hop-off, it's so touristy. Oh, newsflash, I'm a tourist. I want to go to all the places that people want to go to when they go to New York. I don't live here. I don't want to go see this out of... Oh, well, actually, no, that's not true. I do like to see a little out of the way, unusual things. But you also do want to see the big iconic things. So that's what we're going to do. Going to hop on, hop off, probably do a circuit so we can get a bit of a sense of where things are, and then decide where we're going to go. The good news is that if we went like later in the week, we can very easily walk to Grand Central Station, because it's literally a block away, so even we can't get lost. And then the New York Public Library is also very close to that, so we also can easily walk to that and not get lost. But the other things, so that's today, and you'll see how things go when they go. It is the 31st of January, and I don't think I gave an update after yesterday's activities, or kind of lack of activities. So we went... had a bit of a late start. So we came to this urban space, which is very nice, and we thought this is good because then we can choose to get different things. Anyway, we got the exact same thing because we were looking around, and then we saw the banh mi and thought, I haven't had a banh mi in ages, that looks really good. And of course I ordered mine without cilantro, although I did accidentally say to him first, no coriander, and then go, no cilantro. Anyway, it was 15 American dollars. American dollars. It's very nice, but that's very expensive. I know I was a bit critical of the price just before, but you have to remember that's $30 plus 20% tip, right? But it is very delicious. The bread is really nice. The cucumber and the carrot is really fresh, like great crunch, and it's pretty stuffed, so it is very nice. Then try to get the hop on, hop off bus ticket sorted. Thought we could do it on the bus. You cannot, so then we had to find a red coat to buy a ticket from. And the tour that we've got, or the hop on, hop off option that we've got, includes a Statue of Liberty tour, a non-stopping tour of Brooklyn, so you can at least see some things and go over the bridge, which would be good, and entry into a museum, not one of the museums that was on our list unfortunately, but still that's good. And anyway, so then we thought we'd do the usual, do a lap, figure out what we're going to do once we've done it, and then, you know, be on our merry way. We did the tour. This time the bumpiness is not because of me, it's because of the bus. That's true, isn't it? It's not just me that's bumpy, it's the whole bus. Say yes.
The bus is bumpy.
Yeah, not just me. But I like this building here. The one that looks a bit like DNA. Thought, excellent, we'll go to that museum, we'll go see the Wall Street Bull, and then that'll be great. Anyway, the tour, we get back on the bus takes so long. There's absolutely no way we're going to get to do the get off in time to go to the museum. We're like, you know what, let's just get back, go back to the room, it's fine. Anyway, we'll just see a couple of buildings a couple of times, and then, you know, that's that. I had been thinking, I don't get it, everyone's like, oh my god, you're going to love New York so much. And don't get me wrong, when I did see the Chrysler building, I did go, oh. But otherwise, I've been thinking, you know, it's a lot of tall buildings. It's very grey. I don't just mean the weather, I mean like buildings. It's grey, right? And it's just busy. No, I don't get it. But walking on the last bit of the tour, like the sun was setting, because of course it's winter, the sun sets very early. Some lights were starting to come on in the buildings, and it felt different. And then when we walked back from the last stop to our hotel, it was that same thing. It was that same feeling of things, of it just being different, right? And Mum, you said it takes on a magic, eh? Is that what she says? Were those your words?
They were my words.
Don't blur her words. It takes on a magic, and it does. I don't know what it is. Well, I'm probably just one of those idiots that's obsessed with twinkle lights, I guess. But it did. And then we saw, like, because the buildings which you'd already seen during the day, which felt grand, like the public library, like Grand Central Station, the outside of it already feels grand, but when you see it lit in different ways, and the shadows and the, you know, the different features, like, things feel different when you light them differently. It does feel more beautiful. It does feel a bit more special. And we did go into, we did walk past a public park on the way back, and we did need to use a bathroom. And this is an unusual thing, but you're going to get a bathroom review today. But the bathroom in this park was amazing. There was like some flowers in a pot, there was classical music playing. There wasn't a smell, good or bad, it just smelled like air. And yeah, classical music, and it was clean. It was crazy. I was like, this is so good. Also, this is a street we'll have to walk down a few times really to get back and forth from a hotel. Now we know if we need a toilet, there is one, and it's not gross. But also in the same park, because it was a bit of a winter wonderland, had like a lodge, some bars, an ice rink, and then these little plastic huts that had each one, they were kind of separate, so there were a few of them domes, and then they had like a curling thing, and that was really pretty. It was very twinkly, had Christmas lights, and so we did think, you know what, this does feel a bit special. There was still some Christmas trees in it, so it's not Christmas, obviously, it's the end of January, but it still had that little kind of special Christmas in New York vibe that I think everyone wants when they come to New York at around Christmas time. That ended up kind of turning things around a bit, to be honest, because I was thinking, great, we've got days more of this. But don't worry, in my mind I had already thought, you're going to have to shake your attitude up because this is a terrible attitude to take on holiday. But I didn't need to shake it up. It got shook up naturally. This morning, had a bit of a late start and I didn't feel great. Anyway, we go on the bus. The bus is taking a long time. We are unsure if the bus is really taking a long time or if it just feels like it's taking a long time because we want to do something else. Oh no, it was taking a long time. This is, I'm just very happy because we've actually realised we've been on this bus for about an hour and a half.
Minimum.
Possibly more. We're like, what the fuck is going on? Like, we know there's traffic, but this is outrageous. This is worse than yesterday. And this is, they're both weekdays anyway. It's because Joe Biden has been in and about downtown and everything's closed off and everything's like backed up, and now we're literally crawling along. Yeah, so we're hoping we'll get to the museum today before it closes, but it's 5 to 2 now and it closes at 5, so yeah, so that's why it was taking so long. The president was here and it had turned traffic into chaos. Didn't mean we got to the museum of the National Museum of the Native American New York branch later than we expected. Now, I did want to see this because it's also a Smithsonian Institute. It's also free, so that's a nice thing. But yeah, I'd read articles about it before and it kind of piqued my interest and I did really want to see it. So I put in a little bit of footage from there. It was good to see because in that space they display things that are similar to each other and not necessarily chronological order or anything, but they display them based on form, which is not common and quite interesting and actually visually spectacular when you think about it, because if you're looking at all of these things that are similar, like for example hats, here they are, arrowheads, here they are. It's interesting to see the differences and the similarities, but also different materials, how they work. That's nice to see. Like visually, it's got a good impact, and I think that's good. After that, we went to see the Wall Street Bull, which is like literally 50 meters away, which is great. The bull is massive. It's heaps bigger than I thought it would be. Like not massive like the arch, but yeah, much bigger than I thought it would be. And there is a line to go and get your photo taken with the bull. There's one line for the balls and this is the line for the head. And then me. So obviously we were in that line waiting to get our photo taken with the head of the bull. And then, now we're in line for the balls because this lady wants to touch some balls. So, balls. So then we also got our photo taken with the balls of the bull, or the balls, because everybody gets their photos taken with the balls. It seems the family in front of us was about 7 people, and they were all running through taking the photos, you know. And it was like grandmas and a baby, like that was the age range of this family. And one of the guys actually turned around and said to us, he's like, "I'm really sorry, we got a big family." And we're like, "Oh, we don't mind, do what you want." But it was very funny because, you know, there was a baby. You have a baby in a bar. No, you have a baby with the balls. But it was funny. So anyway, we touched the balls. I don't know why everyone touched it. I guess because they're there. I know exactly why people touch them, because they're there. So we touched the balls. We went to Madison Square Garden to see a basketball game between the Knicks and the Lakers. And it was interesting. I can't put my finger on it exactly, but I'll tell you this. The vibes were off. It got into our seats and honestly could not have been further away from the court. And I don't mean like, ha ha ha. No, we were in the last row, which actually was fine because that meant we didn't need to navigate any, death trap stairs. Although the stairs weren't as death trappy as they were in Pittsburgh. But it did feel like the vibes were off for us personally. And I don't know if that's because where we were sitting, you can't see half of the, like you can see the whole court, right? You see just the top of the backboard at the other end of the court, but you can't really see a lot. You can't see the jumbotron in the middle. So if there's things happening on there, you can't really see them. They have screens, like TV screens stationed all around, so you can see them like there, but I don't know, it didn't feel great. I don't know what it was. And I was like, you know what, you got to turn this around because I paid a lot of money for these tickets, so I need to get the vibes on. Anyway, so we worked on that, worked on our attitude, because even though we were far away, you could still see fine. Like it's big, but it's not so big that being at the very back of something means that you can't really see, or that your view of the actual game is distorted. So that part of it was fine. And then the crowd didn't seem super engaged in the first half, I would say. I think that's a fair assessment. But it did pick up after into the second half. It did pick up. Like, the game was closer, the lead swapped a few times, and it was just pumped. And I think as well that people were excited to see LeBron. Like, even people who don't go for the Lakers were excited to see LeBron, because I know this for a fact, because people clapped when he did things that were good, and they were wearing Knicks gear. But also, this dude actually said out loud, "I love my Knicks, but LeBron, oh man." Anyway, I mean, that's what happens when you're someone like LeBron, though, right? People are pumped to see you, and we were pumped to see him because we'd never seen him before. Now I'd like to thank LeBron, even though he will never ever see this, for wearing red sneakers, because I was straight away able to say to Mum, "Red sneakers, LeBron." She was like, excellent. Then she could find him, and then as the game went on, and really not that far into the game, she was like, "Oh yeah, of course," because you know he has some more distinctive things. But if you're not as familiar with the game, it's easy to spot him with these red ones. And then we're like, an AD pink shoes.
Let's go, AD!
So, thank you for all wearing different coloured shoes. It made it heaps easier to see people. No, it was a good game though. Went into overtime. It's a tied game, and there's like only 4 seconds left. And the Lakers won. So we were pretty excited about that. I did do a thing, everyone, again. Oh, look at this one. This was actually bigger than my head. And I said to Mum, "Oh, do you want a little Cuba cup?" Anyway, she's like, "Yeah," because she thought I was going to get a beer, and then we'd buy one of these cups, and I would keep it, and she would just drink a normal drink. But I didn't want a beer anyway. But look, and it was refillable. And you can refill it as many times as you want, and you don't even have to wait in line. You just make sure your lid is off, give it to them, and they'll refill it. You cut in line. Anyway, I made a real effort to make sure I drank all my drink this time and refilled it, but I couldn't fill it with more Pepsi, Diet Pepsi, because that was way too much caffeine. I already feel like I'm still a bit buzzing from all that caffeine, and I don't know what time I'm going to go to sleep now. But anyway, that's not the point. The point is, I got this, and I got it refilled with soda water, because I couldn't have anything else. Anyway, that's not, now it's another thing I've got to try to get home. Well done. more good choices. And the game atmosphere picked up, and we picked up and figured out how to work the subway, so that was also picked up. And yeah, and now I'm going to have this coffee. Just kidding, it's totally decaf. Yeah, 100% can I have a coffee now. So just in case you are curious, because I did talk about cost a little bit earlier in the piece, the tickets we got for tonight's game, which we decided to get a cheaper ticket option because we prioritised hockey on this trip, but we still wanted the experience of going to MSG. And then when you've got the option really to see LeBron, you'd take it, right? You'd be crazy not to. So these tickets were, including fees and everything, about 330 Australian dollars, right? And they were cheaper. So we could have gone, and maybe our involvement or engagement in the game would have felt a bit different if we were lower down, but we were not going to pay that price based on what we'd already purchased in terms of the hockey tickets. So yeah, that wasn't going to happen. We have season tickets to the Power, and we have 4 adult tickets and 4 junior tickets, and each adult pays about $470 or $420 for the season for 11 home games. Now, our seats are not the best ones. We don't sit in the middle, but we sit where we like to sit, which is on about the 50-metre line. We sit near where Port come out and where the opposition come out. But anyway, yeah, it was about $420 for the whole season, and tonight's single game in the cheaper seats was $330. So anyway, if you're thinking of doing a sporting tour of the States, keep that in mind. And I think I'm going to split this video into 2 because we're here for 2 weeks. We're here for a full week, so I think I'll split it into 2. Alright, love you, miss you.